After get off work, the black silk stockings on my girlfriend's legs disappeared. You may not know that there are actually a lot of female customers visiting sex toy stores. Among these female customers, less than 20% are shy when they enter the store, while 80% of them have already overcome the psychological barrier before entering the store, so they are open and confident, just like going to the supermarket to buy sanitary napkins. In any case, being able to face up to one's own desires and physiological needs and accept them is a sign of psychological maturity and ideological liberation. The girl I want to talk about is such a generous and cheerful girl. After she came in, she quickly picked out a set of imported goods. When she was checking out, after I told her the prices, I also recommended her the game I had come up with. I told the girl that there was an opportunity to get a free meal. If she was single, she could participate in the game. If she won, the meal would be free. If she lost, she could get a 50% discount. The girl was quite interested and said that she had been single for 2 years. She also asked me what the specific rules of the game were. But when I finished explaining the rules of the game, she hesitated. The girl smiled awkwardly. Is that so? Then I won't participate. Anyway, even if I call him, he won't agree to be with me. I immediately said, even if he doesn't agree, I can still give you a 50% discount, it's worth it. The girl thought about it, finally took out her cell phone, and dialed a number very skillfully. Obviously, she had deleted the number, but she couldn't completely delete it from her heart. However, before she dialed the number, she sighed and deleted the entire string of numbers. Forget it, he is my ex-boyfriend, and I was the one who broke up with him. So, you don't dare to fight. I encouraged her. She smiled at me and said, "Boss, I'll pay you with Alipay." Since she had made up her mind to give up, I had no choice but to accept the money in disappointment. The girl paid the bill and left. I continued to rest my chin on my hand out of boredom, but unexpectedly, the girl came back 5 minutes later. She asked me, "Boss, if I call now, will your game still work? Can you give me a discount?" I know she doesn't care about money, she just needs a reason to confess. So I generously said, "Whether you succeed or not, I will give you a free meal." She finally dialed the number. The girl turned on the speakerphone and the phone rang 3 times before being answered. "Hello." The boy's voice sounded a little lazy, as if he had already fallen asleep. "Hello." The girl bit her lip and seemed unable to continue speaking. I even thought she would hang up the phone the next second. There was silence on the other end of the phone for 2 seconds, and the boy suddenly asked, "Xiao Qing? Is that you?" The girl smiled. "Well, are you asleep? Did I disturb you?" No, I just laid down. I didn't expect you to call me. We haven't been in touch for 2 years, right? Well, I suddenly missed you a little, so I wanted to call you. How are you doing recently?" "Just the same as always, what about you?" "Me too, still the same." The girl answered easily, but I noticed that her fingers holding the phone were trembling slightly. The boy said, "Actually, after we broke up, I was worried about you for a long time, afraid that you couldn't take care of yourself." The girl's eyes were red, but she still smiled. "How could that be? I'm not a child anymore." "Oh, by the way, you should be married, right?" "No, I'm still alone." "What about you?" "I am still alone." The two of them fell into silence. The girl took a deep breath, adjusted her emotions, and finally said, just. "I want to ask you, is there still a possibility for us?" She asked me, "Boss, if I call now, will your game still work? Can you give me a discount?" Before the boy could speak, the girl said incoherently, "It's okay, you don't have to be embarrassed. The main thing is that you just bought something, and there is an activity in the store. It's to confess your love to the person you like. If you succeed, you can get a free meal." The boy laughed after hearing this. "So that's how it is. Should I agree to it?" The girl pretended to be nonchalant and said, No, the boss just said that if it doesn't work, I can get a free meal, so." The boy interrupted her and said, "We had a serious argument once, and you said some serious words. Later you came to apologize to me. Do you remember the story I told you at that time?" The girl was stunned for a moment. "Huh." There was a little girl who was always prone to temper tantrums. Her father gave her a bag of nails and told her to take a nail and hammer it into the fence in the backyard every time she lost her temper. Do you remember? She raised her head slightly to hold back her tears and said to the boy, Yes, of course I do. On the first day, the girl lost her temper 37 times and hammered 37 nails into the fence. Later, the number of nails she hammered in each day began to decrease. She found that it was much easier to control her temper than to hammer in the nails. Finally, one day, the girl no longer lost her temper, so she went to tell her father that she had become a good child. Her father told her that from now on, every time you are able to control your temper, pull out a nail. So day after day passed, and the girl finally pulled out all the nails. Her father pulled her to the backyard and said to her, "You did a good job, but you see, those holes in the fence can't be restored to their original state. The words you said when you were angry are like these nails, which are nailed into other people's hearts. Even if you pull them out, they will still leave scars." The girl paused and continued, "In the past, I must have driven many nails into your heart." "Yes, indeed." The boy replied in a low voice. The girl sniffed and said to the boy, "I was really too much in the past. I always lost my temper with you. Maybe it's a little late to say sorry now, but I still want to say sorry to you. In fact, after we broke up, I kept thinking that I must have hurt your heart in the beginning, so you don't have to apologize. Besides, it's all in the past." "Well, okay, it's good to know that you are fine now. You should rest early. I should go home too." Just as the girl was about to end the call, the boy said, "When we were together, I told you that I would only break up with you if one day you could beat me in arm wrestling. Well." The girl finally choked up and couldn't speak, her tears flowing uncontrollably. "On the day we broke up, you arm wrestled with me. You couldn't beat me with one hand, so you used both hands. In the end, you were so anxious that tears came to your eyes. I thought, it seems that you really want to leave this time, so I let go. I thought about contacting you later, but when I thought about the way you cried while arm wrestling with me that day, I held back." The boy paused and continued, "So, actually you didn't beat me that day." The girl suddenly opened her eyes wide. "You mean, we? Silly, stop crying. Where are you now? I'll come find you." That day, the girl waited in my shop for more than half an hour, and then her boyfriend came. After the two people left, I suddenly remembered the classic monologue of Zhuzhenbao in A Chinese Odyssey. "I once had a true love in front of me, but I didn't cherish it. I regretted it when I lost it. This is the most painful thing in the world. If God can give me another chance, I will say 3 words to that girl: I love you. If I have to put a time limit on this love, I hope it is 10,000 years. I hope you never have to say such words and cherish the person next to you."